4 keys to beliefs. Key number 3, empowering your life with your beliefs.
Quietly, I wish that I could make it true.
Hello lovelies, it's Tiina here from Own Kind and Wonderful, helping you reclaim who you truly are. So we're continuing our journey with beliefs. So key number 3 now, focusing in on empowering beliefs a little bit more. Last time we of course spoke about limiting beliefs and how language can give us clues about the limiting beliefs that we really hold on to in our lives. Sometimes they're a bit hidden to us. So empowering beliefs are of course beliefs that help us in life, like we gain confidence through these empowering beliefs. They help us move forward. They help us feel good about ourselves and so on. So these beliefs, of course, we want to hang on to, as long as these empowering beliefs, of course, are not only great for ourselves, but of course those around us. Anything that I talk about is, of course, never about lifting yourself up while you are trampling on other people. It's never about that. It's about lifting yourself up, and with lifting yourself up, it's lifting other people too, of course. I say of course, but maybe that needs to be said sometimes. So empowering beliefs, of course, as with limiting beliefs, you can get clues about your empowering beliefs through your language, just observing that, right? Now, those limiting beliefs that hopefully you identified or started identifying since the last video, like through observing your language, for example. You want to have a look at those limiting beliefs and start turning them into empowering ones. Sometimes we can look at a limiting belief that we've identified and kind of go, well, yeah, I can see an empowering one. I can flip that quite easily. Sometimes, again, it's not that easy to flip it, right? Sometimes that's a struggle. And we kind of go, this is the truth. I'm going to keep on believing this forever. Okay, well, that's interesting information for you. There's a belief that's currently limiting you that is so deeply ingrained that not even with wanting to explore it, it's enough to kind of go, maybe I can shift it, because there's something in you that really wants to hang on to that. So it's just with an air of curiosity, and this is something that I say very often, just an air of curiosity and compassion, like, oh, okay, well, that's interesting. Like, that belief limits me in these ways, and hopefully you can identify in what ways that limiting belief is actually limiting you and harming you in life, holding you back in life. But then there's something in me that says, okay, I don't want to believe anything else. I don't want to shift it to anything else. Okay, that's also interesting information. It's all information, right? Just curiosity. That's interesting. Interesting. So it doesn't become so heavy. So it doesn't become something that you start beating yourself up with, right? So use this process of exploring your beliefs and possibly shifting them into empowering ones as an information gathering process. That's all it is, nothing else, right? And then you can kind of relax into it, kind of go, not too heavy, not too heavy, okay? And once you start exploring it with curiosity, excuse me, you start opening up doors, slowly, slowly. You know, this is not about climbing Mount Everest with one step. This is climbing Mount Everest with many steps. And each step is significant. And sometimes when we look forward, we can go like, oh my God, this process is so slow. But then if we allow ourselves to turn our heads and look backwards, we can go, wow, I've really come a long way. So I had a limiting belief that seems quite silly now in hindsight, but it was the truth for me, right? So I'm brought up in Sweden, and half my family are from Finland and living in Finland. So very often when I was a child, we took the ferry over, right? And you sleep on that ferry, so you kind of sleep on bunk beds in a little cabin. And I, as a child and as an adult, always wanted to sleep on the top bunk bed, right? And you have little stairs that are provided for you to kind of climb up there. But everybody else in my family and extended family and friends, they never needed those little stairs, right? They could get up there without them. They stood on the lower bunk and they just kind of got up. But I just couldn't do that. And I had convinced myself that there is something fundamentally wrong with me, like my physiology. Like my body can't do that. I'm too weak or something, right? So I always needed these little stairs that are super uncomfortable. Until I was about 30 something. And I was like, I stood there in that little cabin and I thought, what the heck? Like, why do I believe that I cannot get up there without those stairs? Like, even my grandma can do it. Like, and my little cousins can do it. Like, all the age ranges can do it, but not me. Like, it cannot be the truth, right? So there and then I decided that that was actually BS. And of course I could get up there. So I stood on the lower bunk and I heaved myself up, and there was no problem whatsoever, right? But I allowed myself to have that belief for many, 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 many years. And the only thing holding me back from getting up there without those stairs was this. That was all. I just made something up. And maybe that made up thing, that belief, was influenced by other things. You know, I was a very careful child. I never climbed any trees. I never had any tears in my trousers because I was just always a very, very careful little girl, a girly girl. You know? So maybe that had something to do with it as well. Like, no, as a girly girl, I can't climb or something. Who knows, right? But one day it might come to a head when you kind of go, you know what? I just do not want to believe this BS anymore. Like, that's it. Like, everybody else in the world can do this except me. No. What's going on here, right? And that's when you can kind of make a shift. But you don't have to wait for that, of course. You can kind of explore, understand, and move yourself forward. Shift things one step at a time. Okay, good. So next time, we're diving a little bit deeper again into changing your life with beliefs, like through transformation, through beliefs alone. As I said in one of the previous videos, of course, it's not all about this. It's not all about our beliefs and thoughts that create our reality. Emotions play a big, big part. Our subconscious mind, our conscious mind, our body. But we're just scratching the surface at this point. And just by scratching this surface, and if you implement these changes, boy, your life can change. See you next time. Bye now.